Hey readers, welcome to another training session on figurative language, which is anytime a poet or author for that matter uses non-literal meaning. And today we're going to focus on personification. So you might be wondering, what is it? Well, it is giving human qualities to animals or objects. Here's one example. The stars winked at me. Well, only humans can wink, so the author or poet saying that the stars were doing the winking is an example of personification. Now, if you look at the actual word, you'll notice person is in it. So that's always a big clue to me that, oh yeah, this is that figurative language example where poets are going to be giving qualities to other things in their poem that really only humans can usually do. And whenever I think about the example here, the stars winked at me, it really helps with my imagery. It helps me in my mind to think of those twinkling stars and the mental movie that the poet provided for me by using personification. So I was thinking about personification and different types of poetry, and I realized that it's been a while since we reviewed our types, right? So a narrative is going to tell a story. One of the examples of that was when our poet described what it was like to be a dog who gets adopted. Descriptive poetry presents a picture. That's where we really get some imagery. I remember Autumn in the City being an example of that, where we had crisp brown leaves with the edges curled up. A lyrical poem is to express an emotion, and lots of times we see this in song lyrics. Humorous, our crocodile went to the dentist, made us giggle, and free verse, that's exactly what we're reading in Love That Dog, when our friend Jack is writing to his teacher, and little does he know that everything he's writing is an example of free verse poetry. So I thought we could take a look at lyrical poetry and see if we could find some examples of personification. So we can find that in song lyrics. Let's take a listen and see if you hear of any words that the author uses to give human qualities to something that is not human.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried.
All right, friends, so let's take a look, now that we've been able to listen, let's take a look at what the actual lyrics are. Snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen, a kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. The first thing I notice is the poet who created these lyrics is telling us that the snow, which is a totally inanimate object, meaning it doesn't have any life to it, is actually doing its own glowing. There's an example of personification. Then when I read down towards the bottom here, it says the wind is howling. Well, you know what? Only things that are alive can howl, right? Like animals and humans. Let's try it with one more song.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own.
Wow, I'm only 30 seconds into the song and I can already find an example of figurative language. It's only grown-ups that wait up for other people, right? But in these song lyrics, it's the world that's waiting up for me. So now that you have an idea of kind of what personification looks like in song lyrics, you're going to get a chance to find it in a song that you've probably heard a couple of times. Head to the next slide in its learning to practice finding it.